Hello there, it's Billy Juliana, and thank you for coming back to my channel. If you are returning, and if it's your first time, I do welcome you and thank you for clicking on. And as is tradition, I will remove my glasses because there's always a glare, either whether I'm inside or outside, and it's a little distracting. And also, since I am outside, you might hear loud motor noises because they tend to follow me around. And so anytime there's a motor sound, I just welcome it because it's part of the sound effects of my particular videos. But anyway, what I'm wanting to do here with this video is to insert one in the midst of this series of eating to mental hunger. What does it look like that I've been doing? You might have looked at a couple of those videos, you might not have. But whatever the case may be, what in the world am I doing is the basic question that I'm wanting to answer. Because I have made a video previously to starting the series on eating to mental hunger that dealt with the concept of what I eat in a day videos. And I know that a lot of people can relate to this, the fact that there is a lot of content on YouTube from people, women especially, going through recovery from anorexia and posting, what I eat in a day or full day of eating, as a way of kind of helping themselves to get through the recovery process, and also to kind of show what they're doing and how they're progressing, that sort of thing. Maybe how to do it, maybe to give guidelines for other people. I know that I personally have watched a few of these videos, and I realize that they've been very, very helpful to other people. But for me personally, I would watch them and I'd usually get disappointed. I'd go, is that all they're eating? I really want a lot more than that. And I want to eat a lot more like really non-healthy foods. Like I don't want to eat what looks like a lot of health food out there. So in that way, the videos are kind of triggering. They kind of made me feel a little guilty, a little bit like, where are the people that are eating a lot, and a lot of processed and a lot of so-called bad foods, which of course, as we now know, there are no bad foods. But I was looking for the people that were eating to that extent and those kind of food. And I just didn't find much. The other thing that I wasn't finding much of either was women or men who were a little older, who had had the disease for a long time, and who are looking at 50, age 50 or beyond. That's certainly where I am. And I couldn't find much content from older people. And so I was like, geez, I'm sort of in this moment where, I'm feeling a little desperate, a little fearful, and I want to move forward, but I need to go to the internet for a little bit of support just in this moment, and I'm not finding it, and it's frustrating. So I wanted to put myself out there, and that's why I started the channel. But I do know that what I eat in a day videos are a little troublesome. So I am now going to explain a little bit more about why I'm doing eating to mental hunger, what does it look like series. But I need to shift position a little bit because sun is getting on me and it is really hot where I am. So let me see if I can change up the scenery a little bit. Okay, bye. Okay, I've kind of changed up the scenery a little bit, but I have a little bit more traffic sound in the background, so forgive any extra motor noise that might be distracting. I apologize about that. But let me get back to the topic. So I feel like I need to backtrack a little bit, because if you're new and you haven't seen other videos, beginning videos of the series, then you may not know exactly who the hell I am and what this is about. So let me just try to give a snapshot. I am 49 years old. I was first diagnosed with anorexia when I was age 9 in 1979, and first went into treatment in 1979, and then from that point all the way up to 2 years ago, I was in and out of treatment. And that doesn't mean that I was in treatment, all the time, constantly. Of course, there were plenty of stretches of years where I wasn't in treatment, but anorexia always came back and got me in its grips, and took me back down into a very dangerous place or narrow kind of lifestyle at every time. I'd get to a certain point in my weight, hang out there maybe for a while, then kind of slip back down. There was never a point where I could just say I'm recovered and food's not an issue anymore. Just never in my life has that been achievable since age 9. So until 2 years ago, I was in a place where my weight wasn't so hot. I was pretty low, and I don't want to trigger anybody by saying that, because you can be at any weight and be low. You know what I'm saying? You can be at any weight. I mean, I feel low right now, and I've already gained 35 to 40 pounds. So I just want to throw that out there, that I don't want to trigger anybody by saying I was at this dangerously low weight. But for me, that's where I was. And I wasn't feeling good. My life was very narrow. And I was like, when can I kick this disorder? Do I always have to live with it? And I'd been told over the years in various treatment centers that you will always have to live with it. So yes, that is one philosophy, is that it's always gonna be hanging around. You just gotta watch it, But I was at a place where I was looking for more help and more support, because a dietitian that I was regularly seeing left. And she left saying, you know what, no one else in town is available. They're all full up with other eating disorders. So sorry, and see ya. And so she left town. I don't know where she went. But so I went to the internet. I was like, what? And so I was Googling anorexia recovery for old people. And lo and behold, I came up with 3 really good resources. And that's Tabitha Farrar, Kayla Rose Katecki, and Elisa Orris. And all of them offering coaching for people that are going through anorexia recovery, and they're all for adults. Now, I don't want to dismiss any young people that may be watching, because this pertains to all of us, but especially for people that are older, I just want to represent the older people and be here for you guys too. But I found all of their philosophies, all of their recovery model, and here goes a motor, part of my sound effects. I found the recovery models that these 3 women propounded, and it's very similar among the 3 of them, to be extremely compelling. Basically, they're all saying eat, and eat loads, and that there's no such thing as a binge when recovering from a restrictive eating disorder or a restrictive past. I was like, what? I'd always been taught through all these other treatments that a binge was a bad thing, that there's a disorder out there that you could develop. And, so watch out, you gotta tiptoe around the weight gain process, and always, kind of control your food in some way. And so this kind of like unbridled eating and freedom was just music to my ears. So of course, I have gone with that. I signed up with one of those women as a coach, and 2 years ago in 2017, and I've been working ever since. And if you haven't seen other videos, you don't know yet, but I'll tell you that I got stuck in quasi-recovery for a number of months. So my recovery process has been a little slow. Now, it could be just the right pace for me, because the neural pathways that are in my brain are just entrenched with anorexic thoughts and anorexic behavior. So I've got a lot of neural rewiring to do, a ton. So it's taken me a while, a bit longer, to even understand what not restricting is. And you can tell by the videos I've already posted on this eating to mental hunger, what does it look like subject. You can probably tell that I still restrict in certain ways. I can see that there's some safe foods that are in there, and I haven't really broken out and gotten into some even more daring foods. So yeah, it's taken me a while, and I'm still working on it. And I did really well, but I kept, eating to mental hunger for like a while over the 2-year process, and then I'd stop because I get scared. And then finally, I reached a certain weight back in February and just started restricting all over again. And so about 6 weeks ago, I was like, I'm restricting, I know it. So I need to get out of this. And so I'm pulling myself out. Now, a few weeks ago, as I've mentioned, I made this what I eat in a day video, kind of query video. And like I said, they can be triggering. But I also felt in my heart that it would be beneficial to show someone struggling to eat to mental hunger. And if you don't know what mental hunger is, then I do suggest that you go to TabithaFarrar.com and just check out her YouTube video on mental hunger, or her blogs. She talks about it quite a bit on her website and on her channel. Kayla Rose as well, Elisa Orris does as well. But it's basically, for me personally, I don't get hungry as often. I don't have that physical hunger, but my mind is constantly thinking of food and wanting and dreaming and wishing that I could eat. Even when I'm full, I'm disappointed that I'm full because I'm wanting to eat more. Sound effect. So with that said, that's why I am wanting to post videos that are about mental hunger and the concept of what does it look like when you're thinking about food all the time. What does it look like to be actually trying to eat to catch up with my mind and catch up with the wanting to eat all the time. So I'm trying this, and the first 2 videos have been kind of not so hot. And I realize that they might be triggering, and I apologize greatly for that. But I want to say I understand why they would be, because they ain't so hot. The first one I consider pretty much a fail. I just bombed out kind of on that one. The second one I got a little bit better, but I still need to be more daring, because my mind is still thinking about food all the time. And that means that my body still needs more weight, more fat, more energy. It needs to repair all the damage that's inside that I don't even know what the damage is. But and I know that there's damage after 40 years of being in an underweight state. It's just gonna be there. And so there's a lot going on in there that I don't even know. And my body needs all this energy, and it's asking for it constantly, even despite all the weight I've gained. So I wanted to be here to encourage and reassure and inspire people who are going through the weight gain process, even though you might have gained already a bunch of weight, even though you're in a healthy BMI range, and your mind is still asking for all this food, or you're experiencing the physical hunger, and you've got extreme hunger, and you're still eating all this food. I wanted to be like, oh, okay, yeah, here I am. I'm right there with you, and here's what it looks like for me. And I realize that it's problematic because it can be triggering, because first of all, it's not what I posted isn't quite what it really looks like for me. It's what I did, but it's not quite what my mind has painted for me. So I'm gonna try with each video to get better. But I'm kind of using myself sort of as a specimen to show that this method of recovery that is propounded by these women and by other people who are kind of jumping on the bandwagon with this method of recovery will work, and that it will work for older people, and that older people can eat as much as they want. They don't have to be at a lesser calorie rate for some reason because they're older. Throw all that out, that we all need to just eat to satisfy what our body is asking for, and it may be coming through our mind, because the physical hunger cues aren't there, but that's hunger as well. So again, I apologize if anything is triggering. If I'm making a massive mess of anybody's lives, then please let me know and I will take these things down. But in the meantime, I'm just trying to put myself out there and just build and get better and pick out the restriction, show what restriction looks like actually, and then correct it. And then also correct my behaviors as well. So with that said, I might move along to a different place because I'm starting to melt now, and you may not even be able to see me or hear me because of the traffic, but we'll move along and I'll conclude as fast as I can. Okay, thanks. You know what, I just wanted to come on camera one more time and just say that if you're really done with my videos and you're like, yuck, I hate your videos, they really bother me and they're not inspiring and gross and they're not encouraging, blah, well then go watch the video to Take On Me by Aha from 1984. That is one of the top videos of all time, and it's about to reach 1 billion views. And for the 20th century, I'm not talking 21st century, for the 20th century, there are only 3 music videos that have reached 1 billion views. I want Aha to make it to the top 5, so go watch the video to Aha's Take On Me. I know you've heard the song. It's a great pop song. It's the quintessential pop song, and the video is one of the best of all time. So if you want to just click off of me, go watch that. I want to get them in the top 5 for 1 billion views from the 20th century, not the 21st, the 20th century. They're going to follow Guns N' Roses, Nirvana, and Queen. Let's get Aha in there. Okay, take care. Bye.